Now, a decade ago, a young man grabbed our attention when he burst onto the music scene, becoming a star, well, almost overnight. Gareth Gates was runner-up in the first series of the TV talent show Pop Idol, and has since sold a remarkable 3.5 million records here in the UK, as well as enjoying tremendous success in the West End. Well, his achievements are all the more remarkable because of a much publicised stammer he suffered from since childhood. Although he's been working hard to manage his speech impediment, he's recently had a pretty tough time with it again, mainly due to his hectic work schedule, which includes his Skegness show in a couple of weeks' time. So, fond memories of Pop Idol?
Absolutely. It was 10 years ago now. I feel very old. I was only very, very young, 17, and what I've achieved in 10 years has been amazing for me, you know, and I'm still very, very busy with work and things are going so.
That's interesting, isn't it? Because you've not been out of the limelight. You've not gone off the radar since Pop Idol, whereas, we've seen these other shows, talent shows, where you get somebody who wins it or who's runner-up and they seem to disappear. How much of a challenge was that for you to stay right in the public limelight, Gareth?
Well, I've always just worked hard and wherever that's led, I've just gone on with it, you know. I'm now in musical theatre. I'm acting, which is something I never thought I'd ever be able to do. I've had this terrible stammer all my life, and so I've always avoided that. But now I'm working on that and feeling quite strong about my speech. It just opened up many more doors like acting. So I just take it as it comes, and I'm really enjoying being an actor now as well as a singer.
It's been much publicised, hasn't it, your speech impediment? How did you really feel about that when you shot to fame?
Yeah, it was quite daunting at first, of course, to be thrown straight into live TV and millions of people watching when it was very obvious I was struggling with my speech. But, you know, I never let my speech ever hold me back from things I wanted to do and things I wanted to achieve in life. And I think that's always been quite important to me. You know, I love to mention my speech in interviews because it helps other stammerers as well, and I try and do as much as I can to heighten the awareness of stammering, simply because when I was a child I could never really relate to anybody else. I never met another stammerer, and so therefore it's quite a lonely place, you know. And so I always try and mention it. Things like the King's Speech, that's heightened the awareness, and so it's great, really.
You really took charge of the situation, didn't you? You enrolled on the Maguire programme to improve things. How difficult a decision was that for you? And is it something you wouldn't have done had it not been for Pop Idol?
Well, the Maguire programme was something I saw on a TV show, I think, actually. And it seemed to work from what I was singing, and so I enrolled upon it myself. Yeah, it's life-changing. I'm now an instructor on the programme, so I help to teach others how to be in control of their speech, and that in itself is a very, rewarding feeling, you know. And it's great. It's something I constantly have to work on. I have good days, I have not so good days, and you just have to keep on working. And recently with my speech, I've had a little bit more of a tough time than what I usually have. However, that's just because I'm hectic with work and I haven't really had the chance to put the work in on my speech, you know.
That must be difficult. It's a tough schedule you follow. Are you still good mates with Will, from those days?
Yeah, we're friends and we speak every now and again, you know. Yeah, he's a really, really lovely guy and very talented, you know.
It's a fairly unnatural chain of events, wasn't it? The way you shot to fame almost overnight. I suppose it's like your whole private life being hung out to dry. Do you think you were sufficiently well enough equipped to deal with that, to cope with that at the time, looking back?
Well, I think what helped me and what served me well was simply I was 17 and I was young, so I never really thought about it all that much. I just enjoyed everything that was thrown at me and had a blast. I think some of the older people in the competition, you know, I think they sort of analyse things way too much. Whereas when you're young and when everything's quite wild and quite hectic, you just go with the flow, you know.
Were there any particular downsides of being Gareth Gates and of something like that happening to you almost immediately?
And I mean, of course, the speculation on private life is always quite hard to get your head around at first. However, that's just part of the job, you know, and I think we were all very aware of that, and yeah, that's just how it is now.
I love the way you say you had a blast. It's been a blast for you ever since, hasn't it? Dancing on Ice, you had the lead role in Joseph, you were Prince Charming, well, you tell me, 25th anniversary tour of Les Mis. It's just been one non-stop rollercoaster for Gareth Gates, hasn't it?
I literally haven't stopped for 10 years, which is great, you know. I've been one of the fortunate ones, you know. There's lots of people who, when they roll upon these talent shows, and you know, they work for a year and then you never sort of hear of them again. So I'm one of the fortunate ones. I've certainly had to work hard at it, and it's not been all, you know, easy. However, I'm loving life, and I'm now in theatre and being offered all these roles and things, which is great, and it's great for my speech as well. You know, it's not just musical theatre; it's real acting, which is fantastic for me.
Who's the real Gareth Gates?
I'm pretty much the person that everyone knows, really. I've never really people, you know.
We're looking forward to seeing you in Skegness, an exclusive evening with Gareth Gates and his band. What can we look forward to, Gareth?
Well, my band are incredible, first and foremost. They're a set of great musicians, and so a great evening of music, I think, and I'm going to be performing some of my sort of older hits, as well as some new material which I've started to write. I am in theatre at the minute, however, I certainly hope to return possibly next year with a new album, and so I started to write that with my band about a month ago, so hopefully some more new material, and you know, maybe some songs thrown in there as well, you know.
So no letting up then? Just as busy as ever?
Absolutely.
He is, isn't he? Gareth Gates and his band, very much looking forward to that, appearing at the Embassy Theatre in Skegness in a couple of weeks, Sunday the 12th of August at 7:30.